Welcome to Max Corner, and right now we're going to be playing Barony Cursed Edition. So, full disclosure, I had made an initial video about this, and it sounded great on my media player, but I just realized and was contacted by the developer that it did not sound so well on YouTube, and I confirmed it did not. So I want to make sure I'm representing both the developer and myself as best as possible. I apologize for not putting out a product that was completely professional. Please know I would never do that on purpose, just sometimes accidents happen. But what I want to do is I want to go ahead and do it, just kind of redo it. The good news is, as always, I'm going to do an Iron Man playthrough, and with this being a roguelike, I'm not promising I'm going to last very long. I think I made it to the second or third level before I died last time. So I don't know much about the game, but I got a little bit, and I'll kind of talk through it. But without further ado, let's get started. All right, I'm going to be a male because I'm a male, and I just kind of stick with that. No problem with you, you men who like to play women. I don't judge. Whatever floats your boat. But me, I just stick with the male. I think I did a warrior last time. What they lack and they make up for. I think I'm just going to go all out. Let's just raw. Yeah, let's just see how violent we can get. Mac. All right, he's going to be Mac. Single player. I do like the idea of multiplayer, but I don't know much about it yet, so I can't speak to it for good or ill. And so this is where we started last time, pretty similar. This looks important. That's our inventory. We have a spell book with no spells, probably because we're a barbarian. We have 2 torches, a serviceable mace, a serviceable axe, a serviceable wooden shield, and a helmet. Now, this looks like a spell book, but I'm not sure what to do. I never could figure out what to do with it. I think I even tried a cleric real quick. I couldn't figure out what to do with that thing. So, you know, the first impressions, if you're a younger gamer who's not used to it, might be, well, what's with the heck with the graphics? But that's just what makes this thing so awesome, is... Oh, yeah, right. This is very old school. So what you're about to see here, I know by modern standards, may not seem like much. Oh, the torches. So I'm going to get the torches. Hold on. May not seem like much. Oh, but realize that this quality of a game was a AAA game back when I was younger, and a lot of other older video gamer players were younger. And at least as far as I've seen thus far, the developer's done a really good job of capturing that kind of old school feel. So not only do I not have a problem with the graphics, I actually kind of like them a lot for the nostalgia factor. Also, I did learn this the hard way last time. If you don't have a torch, there's no lights. So as you can see, that's why I'm going to leave that torch there. So it makes sense. There's no external light coming. So why would there be light? Of course, that can make things a little interesting at times. And then, let's see. Ooh, it's kind of scary. Well, we can see a little bit, I guess. Dungeon level 1. So one of the things you're probably noticing, and I noticed too, is there's some cheesiness to the the kind of head bad guy, but that's not a bad thing. In fact, that's kind of what makes the game endearing, because while I'm sure it seems cheesy to as I said, some younger players who've never played games like this much before, that is exactly what games were like. I mean, this is very true to what games were back when we were... Oh, and I just died. Okay, I promise this would be Iron Man, but that's just, that was just too quick, so, alright. I'm not going to just end it there. That would be kind of jacked up. So, in the true tradition of a roguelike, obviously... in the good old tradition of roguelikes, not going to be easy. I haven't really played around with it enough to know how to be smart with combat. I'm beginning to think a ranged weapon would be highly beneficial, but I might just be doing something wrong. What the heck? Okay. Well, first impressions is this game is not going to be a joke. I don't even know what I was supposed to do there. I made it further my first time I played. Okie dokie. That was interesting. So, I'm not going to complain because I might have missed something I shouldn't have missed. I will say that there was a bit of like I don't know. It seemed a bit unfair, but maybe I'm just being a little bit of a whiner. Spellbook, copy of my journal. I have a journal? What does it say? Now, is it my journal or is it somebody else's journal? Labeled my journal. All right, and then the true tradition of old school RPGs, we're fighting rats. The meaning of the labyrinth. Okay. Oh, jeez. Okay, no pausing. Oh, run. Oh, man. Okay, one more go. Well, we'll see. Wow. I really don't want to end it on that note. So, I mean, I'm not expecting to get far, don't get me wrong, but there's still some stuff to kind of show off about the game. So, definitely going to be a challenging game for people who really enjoy these roguelikes. I'll be the first to admit, I'm not a huge roguelike fan. I don't hate them, I do play them, but it's got to be the right one. But really, what really drew me to this game was the kind of old school nature of it. Alright, killed the rat. Door. Okay. Well, at least a boulder didn't just come plopping down on our head. I guess I need to be a little more careful, come to think about it. Now, can I put a torch on the wall? Or once it's up? Okay, once we've taken it off the wall, I guess it's gone. Magic staff, I'm assuming? But we are a barbarian, so we probably don't know how to use that very well. I'm going to work under that assumption. Alright, so kind of their hitboxes are kind of, it's kind of hard. And we're at 8. Do we have potions? Do we have something we can, what if we eat some food? Can I eat it? Alright, put it on number 8, and then... Alright, that fed us, but it didn't heal us. Bottle of booze. Okay, that doesn't seem like the best thing to be doing right now. Alright, I'm not seeing a way to heal, which might be problematic. And just so you know, I've done a little bit of research on the game, and that's why I'm worried about just cutting it off now, because I think it looks at first kind of minimalistic, but I am well aware that, and you should be well aware that there's a lot. It gets a lot more complex. You'll run into apparently towns, people who will follow you, and there is a story to it. My understanding is it's not overly complicated, but once again, it's just remaining true to how things were back in the day. I mean, you know, like Eye of the Beholder is kind of a good one. Now, to be fair, there might have been a story that got more complex. I don't think I ever beat it, but basically, you were in a dungeon, and there was a bad guy at the end of the dungeon, and you were going to go kill him. And as far as I recall, that's about the extent of the story. So, and that was, as I said, that was a AAA game, like Game of the Year kind of thing back in like 1980 something. Okay, oh, all right, and I just saw this little map down here, so why don't I start using the map? That might be beneficial. Got some cheese. All right, so I guess our health goes up over time, if I'm understanding that correctly. Is that just a wooden sword, or is it better than ours? Nah, doesn't look too... Okay, so these skeletons are no joke, though, so... Our axe ability is improved. Okay, so it's a game where you get better by doing. That's good to know. Now, can we look at our character, then? Is that possible? So to the dev, if you're watching this, a bit more of a tutorial might be helpful. So I know tab. Oh, okay, never mind. Oh yeah, no, actually, I remember this from the first time I played. So I think you put it in this little box down here, and maybe I'm just an idiot, but I didn't initially see it, and it took me forever to figure out how to look at my stats and the inventory. And the other thing that's got me a little bit kind of confused, which you know, you could probably help clarify, especially for new players, is. So I'm seeing the modifiers here, So I guess that's a +2 modifier or -1. So I got all the modifiers. I can track that. I'm not tracking what the difference is between these and what's in parentheses. Maybe one's natural, one's with equipment. I'm just assuming. But the key thing is I don't know what this is. So I don't know what the base number. Like I don't know where these modifiers are being derived from. And part of the fun of these games is to kind of play around with your stats and do stuff. So I don't know, whatever your system is, I just would recommend applying it to the player, or making it more clear to the player. Not a huge deal, by the way. Well, another skeleton. Where are you coming from? Where are you coming from? Oh my word! All right, well, I'm gonna call it now. This is as I said, not my best genre, but I really wanted to showcase the game because I think it's got a lot of potential. If you're on my channel watching it, I know I can't speak for how it's going to be levels down or anything else, but maybe worth keeping an eye on, keeping up with the developer. I'm pretty sure it's still in early access if I remember correctly. And at the end of the day, I'm about supporting any indie developer that is sincere in wanting to put out a product. So I have no reason, and I don't think that this developer is attempting to make a quick buck. It looks like there's passion behind the project, and I want to support any indie developer that is passionately doing something about a product, or about developing. And at the end of the day, however it's going to work out, I'm not sure yet. It's not a finished product, and I haven't seen much of it, so I can't speak to that. But I like the nostalgia factor of it. It's a little bit too difficult. It could probably use a bit more of a tutorial, but it's in the development stage, so it's not anything to overtly knock it either. And maybe I'm just being an idiot. Maybe I just realized I didn't equip my shield. So there might have been things I could have done to have played a little bit better. And that's pretty much about it. I'm going to be keeping my eye on this one. I'll be keeping my eye on the developer. As once again, I love indie developers because that's where the real gems of just Steam are. Really, the real gems of modern software are in these indie developments. AAA games, they look really sexy, but at the end of the day, I don't know. It's been a long time since one really impressed me with anything more than their graphics, if that makes sense. But I babbled on enough. I appreciate you checking it out. I recommend you at least check out the developer, especially if you were back for, if the 80s were your golden years of gaming like they were for me. Worth your time, I think. So with that said, Mac out.